Howdy everybody. Thanks for tuning in for another clicker training with Mackenzie, McCall, and the Divas. I'm here with my friend Gertie. Over there's McCall and Maud. And today we're just going to do a quick tutorial on, yes, a cool behavior that can help animals stay in place if you need them to stay in a position for a little while. We're just going to do the basics of it today, but it can go pretty far up. You use it for all sorts of stuff, teaching them to groom. In a pinch, you can use it to, yes, help them, stay somewhere while you go do something else. Some people call this behavior stay. You can also call it stationing. Yes, it's a foot target behavior. Yes.
Matt. Okay.
And it's just really handy for all sorts of different scenarios, but it's a good one to start out with and be teaching.
Matt.
If you tuned in the last few weeks, yes, alongside our other behaviors of targeting and of just general good, yes, manners around food. This is a good elementary behavior. Start early. Okay. Yes. So we're going to demonstrate that. McCall is going to be playing it over there with Maud a little bit, and I'll be playing it with Gertie. And we'll just start with the basics and then build up from there. It's a behavior I didn't start early enough on these two with. Kind of wish we would have. Yes, good one. Somebody found a target. That was pretty cool. When this behavior is done well, they learn to just be really excited and wait for a release cue to know when to come off. That's the part that you have to be really careful about early on. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But our very first step. Hi. Can you leave it? Thank you. Okay, let's go. Is to make it a really positive thing. So, of course, if you're training some donkeys and they're at all nervous about it at first, you want to step back a bit and just get them used to it. But I'm not going to cover that today. Yes. But don't just expect that they'll be comfortable stepping on it like these two are. So our very first step is, yes, just getting them going to it and high rate of reinforcement. Yes. For ideally two close on. Gertie's picked up wanting to stop it. Yes. And you can feed on top of it. Yes. If your mat's big enough, and that makes it a little bit hard for them to, yes. Because it can be a little difficult for them to eat right where their feet are sometimes, I've noticed. And if your mat's smaller like ours, yes. That can be tricky. You can just feed to their mouth so long as they're good about taking food. Yes. And then we're really quickly just high rate of reinforcement. Yes. Getting them used to the idea that, like, I'm moving around a little bit. Yes. And they're just standing there. Okay. And then we want to make it really clear. Okay. And then you can just wait for movement off of it. She's like, And yes. I cheated a little bit there, giving her some, like a visual cue to move away. You want to fade that as quickly as possible if you do it. You don't want to be relying on that. And you can wait. Instead, you should wait and just watch for them naturally move off it. Pair that with the behavior. So just try to make it fun. So I'm moving it around. Doesn't know quite when it's going to go down. And then the moment it goes down, I'm looking for her to walk up to it. She's just, we haven't worked on this much recently, so she's a little, she lost it, but see if she thinks to do it. Yes. And I can reinforce her for just taking a step that way at first. You know, it doesn't have to be anything. Oh no, was there a treat under there? Did it go underneath? That was very smart. Yes. And I'm looking for, again, two paws on. Yes. And she's like, look, they're on there. I'd like to get rid of that stomp as much as possible. So yes, I'm trying to reinforce when she stops. Yes. And then get a lot of reinforcement in before she hits it again. Yes. And it's just really important to, as soon as they hit it, get several reinforcements with them on
Matt.
before they come back off. Yes. So stacking the weight of reinforcement on. Yes. Maybe try feeding her to her mouth so her feet aren't dancing around so much. Yes. And then really clearly, okay. Again, you see me. Moment. Yes. Those feet are off.
Okay.
We were a couple treats away. I'm going to take it. I don't want this to be the most exciting behavior, but I do want her to be. Yes. Having fun finding it. Yes. Yes. And I'm doing a lot of fast.
Wait.
Marking and reinforcing. Yes. So just try and stay ahead of that stop.
Okay.
Now I can do a little bit. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, that was softer. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Yes. So I'm building in duration. 1, 2, 3. Yes. 1, 2. Yes. This is it begins fast and
Matt.
furious. Yes. Got one stop in there, unfortunately. Yes.
2 feet.
That was so silly. Yes. Yes. Trying to get her used to different distance. Okay.
Back up.
See what she does.
We can do it. We gotta fix this. Here.
I should probably start pairing the release cue with actually coming off of it. She said, it's like, no, I definitely have to stay. Yes. Good job. So this next time I'm going to try and reinforce her mark for the moment that she actually steps off. Let's see how we do.
Okay.
So we got a lot of enthusiasm to find it. It's great. I also you'll notice we stopped right at the edge of it. Want to see the stepping
Fist
on.
bump.
It's good.
All right,
One
come on,
more
let's go eat
foot.
some more.
Yes, nailed it.
Mod.
Really good. I'm feeding from different positions. Yes.
Oops.
Are you coming to see what we're up to? Here you go. Yes. So, no stomping. That's great. You know, if I wanted to build up, yes, staying while I touch, I'd do something like that. Probably be good to build in just a consent for a touch. Yes. Maud, are you training with Gertie right now? Just
So patient now. Mod.
yes. Great. And now I'm going to try and capture, just waiting for, Maud's a good distraction, but I got to reinforce more because of it. Go with my call.
Fist bump.
I was like, I want some Mackenzie training time. We should switch. You're ready for a switch? Go get her. Yes.
Mod.
You're doing really good. I'm very impressed with you right now. You're doing so great.
Come on. Let's go.
So, because we had a bigger distraction, I upped my rate of reinforcement even
Mod.
more.
Matt.
And now I'm just looking to pair the release cue with the step off. So, as soon as she goes to step off, I'm going to say the word. She's like, oh, it's definitely stomping time. Yes, I missed it. Here you go. Take it. There's a few different games you can play to really build that release cue
Okay.
in. Let me just stomp that a bunch. Here you go. But I would start and make sure that I get a lot of reinforcement on the actual hitting the mat. Then we can build. Yes.
Mod. Mat.
Yes. So let's do 2 for being on
2
the
feet.
mat. And now I'm going to try and pair the
do 2
release
feet?
cue with stepping off the mat. Okay. Yes. And then get her right back on the mat. Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to try and pair one more time, and then I'll see if I can use... Okay. Yes. Good job. Right back on the mat. And this time I'm going to try and anticipate it
Let's move it.
with... Okay. Yes. See that? That was really good. She just walked right off. When she heard the release cue, I in jackpot.
2 feet.
And I'm going to just try and build the whole thing with really low duration on it. So the behavior gets a little bit
Go, Matt.
stronger. Just get 1 or 2 of those. So as soon as she gets too close on, I'll give her
Back
like
up.
1 second on there and then release. You don't want to keep going just with this game, but if they're struggling with the kind of like release cue part, okay. Yes. It's a good way to build up the understanding of the difference between when they walk off and when they don't. But you got to do it fast, and it's way better to have build more duration. So the only reason I can like out of actually standing on there. Good. So she's on it now. Okay. Yes. Now the next time I work on this, I'd work a lot on backing up, reinforcing, then release cue. Maybe I'll do one of those and then we'll call it a day. Matt. Yes. So I'm marking for that. Back up.
Back up.
Yes. Back up. Yes. Back up. Yes. Release cue.
Okay.
Okay. Just so that, yes, the backing up doesn't become the release cue, because I'm kind of using that to bridge and get some captures.
Matt.
Good job, you. All right. I think that's pretty much a good start for stationing behaviors. It's really a great thing to build up with any equine, so that you have a good foundation of standing in place, and eventually you can put a cue to the actual going and standing place. You can also fade the mat and just have it be a stay behavior or station or whatever you want to call it. How'd it go with Maud?
It went pretty well. She also really likes to stomp the mat.
Yeah.
So I was working on shaping her, not stomping it, rewarding her the second she got her feet on, so she didn't have any time to think about it and stomp.
Yes.
And she doesn't seem to strongly connect the release cue yet.
Yeah, I think they both need some release cue work. Can you give me a few more apples and carrots?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I think this is definitely one of their least best behaviors, so it's kind of fun to see. But we have worked on it a bit, so do kind of, if you're working with your own donkeys, you definitely want to, make really short, fun sessions with each one of those.
Back up.
Catch.
Can you do it? Come on.
You pick it up. Bring it. With
right,
each one of those behaviors. Oh, you forgot to bring it to me.
Back up.
Go get it.
Oh, you just really don't want to back up.
I could
to
really
me, huh?
use that. I could use a donkey who
Fine.
brought me
Take
that
a break.
ball. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in to some donkey training tips. Well, thank you. Yes. And we'll be right back with a little bit more with Canner. We're going to do some
Maud.
grooming. Huh. You want to keep going? You want to keep training? Yes. Our friend Maud is here. Here you go, Gertz.
Come on.
Let's all go back. Leave it.
Getting feisty there. Hi. That's not your food in here. Oh, do you want to carry it around?
Maud.
Come on, Gertie. Touch. Oh, wow. Nope.
Snack.
Ooh, some treats to find.
Pretty windy out on the side. Yeah. Hopefully you can hear us okay. I'm going to try and stand with my back to it, but I think a good wind. That might make him a little bit more nervous. We'll see. We'll let him snack a little bit. Just got to eat your dinner, huh? Yeah. Well, here we are with my horse canter. Still don't have a good transition. if you've been tuning in the last several weeks, yeah, you want to do some pets? All right. Because yeah, I'm canter. Oh, and are we doing something for the camera right now? Okay, I'll step away from my dinner. You'll have heard a little bit about his story. He's a rescue horse who, yeah, you better go snack some more. It's like, you mean snack on McCall? Sure. He's a rescue horse who I saved from getting put down a while ago. He's been out at the ranch now. You want some more pets? All right, we'll get you some pets. And he's been at the ranch for, since 2012. So we're talking about coming up on 9 years, I think, this year. Good chunk of time. And he's just a much more comfortable horse than he used to be, although you can still see kind of his fearfulness sometimes. But just that, the remarkable thing of, it's remarkable that he's, eager to seek out petting. Oh, I got it.
Okay.
And do some demo with this. Because he was so fearful at first of people, anything we had, and, he wouldn't even let, me or anybody else walk up to him. He'd turn and run away. If you tried to touch him, he would turn and run away if you had managed to get that close when I first met him. And it took a long time to get him to the point where he actively was comfortable getting petted at all, touched at all. And the way that I did that at first was across the fence, because he was just so explosive. It wasn't really safe to work in the same area as him on touching, and we started playing this game. He says, McCall, you could pet me too, which is I'd present an object, and then he would nose it, because he was still pretty curious, although he was fearful. And then if he nosed it, I'd touch him, just really nice and easy, yes. And he always had the opportunity to walk away, run away, or whatever he wanted to do. Yes. I always made sure there was space for him. He was completely at liberty, completely off lead, loose, in a pasture. And I just would reinforce him anytime that he did it. Ahead of that, I'd already created a relationship with a marker and reinforcement. Snack. It's like, I'll snack some more. But it took a long time, but eventually he got to the point where, he likes petting and it is rewarding enough that he'll do it. Leave it. Yes. Watch his body language there, McCall, because he's backing from you. And
it is windy, huh, Brian?
Yeah, it's windy. So he definitely, if he eases off of people and they continue to pet him, he doesn't trust them as much with petting from there on out. So if he's backing up or wants to get away and people keep moving towards him,
check.
Do you want some pets? He also has the ability to re-engage, and it's just nice to do a few pets and then let him say that he wants some more. So we had to work on that. First, I used just a long pole, and we just worked on touch and pet, which I'll demonstrate with the target stick here now. You want to play a little bit of this? Yeah. You can play a little petting while I grab the target stick. Okay, so let's do some of this and stop with the brush. So, the very first touching game that we played with him, he would touch it like that, and then it'd just be monster, yes. So nice touch to the side. Good job. And then he'd get a lot of reinforcement. At the time, it was just grass. And I actually, at first, had to leave it where he could eat it. Oh, there's a baldy. There's two baldies over there.
Oh, beautiful.
Leave it. Monster. Yes.
There's 3 baldies.
3 baldies. Wow. Boy. Probably should get that action going. Cool. It seems a little early for them. Monster. Yes. And if he could just sit there, he would get reinforced. You know, also he could walk away and stop playing the game. And he knows that if he doesn't touch it, I won't touch him back. Yeah. Yes. So we very slowly moved from that to doing more parts of his body. Yes. And he learned how to relax doing that. Once that was good, then I just started playing the game with my hand and I didn't start right away with my hand, yes, because he had such a negative association with hands. And like me taking my hand out of my pocket was really scary. And so it gave him some distance from me. And like me being closer and going to touch him was a very scary thing for him at first, yes. But now you can see, we just played that game with him. He'll not always, but he often wants to get petted and will just do it indefinitely for no reinforcement for a long period of time. And he can do all sorts of different behaviors. But that was the foundation. That's where we built up from to get to here. Yes. And if people don't respect his boundaries, a lot of times he'll test out the game with them right away. And if they don't know how to play it, he won't engage with them in petting, which is great because I don't want people who don't pick up on him shying from them being in close proximity to him. I don't think it's safe, and it's not great for the work that he's already done. So yes, the other cool things, since starting with that target, you can do a little bit of petting with him. We've built up, he's gotten very good with the brush. He now lets me routinely handle all 4 of his feet. That took a little while. I didn't quite trust those back feet because he was so prone to spooking. But it all built off of that game, and we started it, and then we built it into other objects. I also used that game to give him shots, so we played a little game where he would touch the needle, and I would tap his shoulder, touch the needle, tap his shoulder, and then on one of the taps, I just put the needle in, and we gave him shots, stuff like that. And now, I'm very excited about his toothbrushing game, which to me is this is also the game with which a modified version of it built in like his comfort level, getting his feet touched, getting brushed and combed in different places, but also he had really bad tangles and mats in his hair when I first met him, so I had to very slowly, over the course of like 6 months, use this game to cut those out. It took a long time, but we got him cleaned up, and that was good. And because we took it slow and easy, now I can just untangle his hair all the time. We can play and do all sorts of different stuff with him. But now it's also the same game that we're using to teach him to have his teeth brushed. I'm going to clean off this toothbrush a little bit. And because he was so hard to handle, there was kind of like the benefit of he didn't seem like he had probably gotten much grooming before. So it's not nearly as poisoned as something like his halter, which I talked a little bit about last time, is. So he doesn't have as negative associations with it. And he can really come. And I'd say in grooming terms, you know, he's not exactly like what I would expect a horse who hadn't gone through the kind of traumas that he has to be like, but he's pretty good. And he'll hang out to get groomed, get his seat taken care of, all sorts of stuff, and without being tied. And he's good about it, safe. I can do it in the middle of the field, so long as the other horses aren't pushing in too much, of course. That gets him a little bit. All right, let's see if we can do a little toothbrush.
Okay.
You want to get your teeth brushed? He says, yeah. Okay, so he gets to say yes. We do a little brushing. Yes. And then Mark can reinforce. Oh, Gertie wants to have or Maud wants to have their teeth brushed, one of them. One more toothbrush action? Okay. And this is fun behavior, but it's also, we're building up to giving him like some good toothbrushing. And his teeth are actually looking a little, yes, it's definitely having an effect. We haven't really introduced any sort of toothpaste or anything yet, but is that good? Yeah. Oh, it feels just so nice. Yeah. And he can chew on it a little bit, that's fine. Bite. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Get those teeth. And you can see, like, we can actually go at this point pretty long amount between reinforcement with him. Yeah. Right there. Is that a good spot? Get those zoobs. Look at those zoobs. Can I get the front zoobs?
It is
like
incredibly funny looking and adorable how he wiggles his nose in enjoyment while baring his teeth to let you brush them.
Very good Zuby treatment there. So that was a good little session. I'm going to go clean it off again. We'll do a little more. Excuse me. Are you coming with? You want some water? Did you want some water? You should take a drink if you want it. It's like, I don't know. I'll brush my teeth over here next to my water. And do some of these. Oh yeah, get this one. That tooth needs it. Yes. Been trying to get this lower tooth pretty good for a while. He's still got, he's like, yeah, let's do some more teeth brushing. I'll just hold these. You're silly. Another good thing to do with any sort of grooming behavior is to practice with multiple people. Do you want to do a little toothbrushing,
Sure.
Nicole? Let's do it kind of towards the camera if we can. So again, McCall's gonna offer up the toothbrush. If he goes for toothbrush, then we're gonna just get a little toothbrush in. Let's start nice and easy. Yes, there's a little action going on over there, so high rate of reinforcement. Since there's some more distraction, give him the chance to re-engage if he wants to. He's like, yeah, I'll do some more toothbrushing. You can brush my teeth, McCall. If you are working on grooming or new behavior and you're really teaching with somebody else, you want to start all the way over at the beginning. McCall's already done that a few times, so she can start a little further out. But the really first step would be him nosing it, and then like 1 second of brushing, and then and then reinforcement. That's how I first taught it. And remember, he has a lot of positive associations, and that's part of why you could go so fast. If you're only doing this to teach your animal to have their teeth brushed, and they haven't had those associations already learned the game, it could take a lot longer, and you may just need to build up just getting touched by just touching the toothbrush, getting touched by the toothbrush, and then very, very easy. You think you need a couple more treats for that one? Okay, snack.
There's action and wind.
Yeah, he's like, I think I need a little more snack. Okay, leave it, please. He's like, hold on. I don't.
Hey, friendo.
Another thing, can I just show you something real quick? Is you can, instead of like going to, you can just hold it where they can get to it, and the moment they lip, yes, you can mark and reinforce for that, because that's a nice build up towards the actual toothbrushing. Remember, you don't need to go from 0 to 90. Just any sort of playing with it, yes, can be something you reinforce early on, then you can shape to it. And the same thing goes with like petting. You can do permission, okay, and then just have a hand somewhere, and if they happen to move towards it, he's like, I gotta check everything out. Yes, see that? Nice and easy. You can also teach them to have more control and say over grooming, and they can move into it too. So, yes. That can often be, then they feel more in control. Having control is a good, move for building enjoyment and actually like seeking out behaviors. Yes, are you petting yourself? Yes. And like, if you have a dog who does that, they've just taught themselves to do that already for fun. Oh, I do see some wild horses up there too. What a day for wildlife at Dunrovin. Some wild horses hiding up in those trees. Huh, those your friends? Do you talk to them sometimes? Ever? You say, hey, come down here. We got a bunch of hay. Living's pretty nice. Or do you say, I want to come up there and we can run around the woods together. Would you like to go run around the woods, Canner?
Hey, babe, take a walk on the wild side.
Yeah.
Oh, he really likes getting his molars there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just getting up in there, huh? Yeah, get all that brushing. Yes. That's really good. Well, do you have anything to add to grooming, McCall? Or anything come up? I think that's my quick lesson. You know, horseshoe pets used to be just terrified of humans. Can I see this foot? People thought he was going to have to be put down because he backed up a little bit, so I'm just going to let him re-engage. Yes. Because he was just so unmanageable. These are the ways that we got him back, or got him to the point where he was comfortable. Can we do ears? You should show off your ears too. You don't know? All right, we'll try it. Ears are a hard one for a lot of horses. Yes. It's like, one more ears? And sometimes, this is probably one of the hardest ones for him. Yes. He's like really casually dropping his head, like, look, I'm relaxing. The other one that we like to do now is hugs. Will you take that? Can I do a hugs? Hugs can be a little bit harder sometimes, too. Yes. So, just leaning in, and then he drops his head. And he was a little bit nervous of it last week when I was here, so I'm not doing the full behavior. More hugs? Okay. Yes. You're so hefty. You're a hefty hugger. Can you do it like this? Hugs? Yes. That's a big head you got there. I don't know how you hold it up all day long. I couldn't do it. Yes. Cool.
He's very good, too, about showing you where he wants to be petted.
Yeah.
Like if you're brushing his side and he suddenly swings his butt around, he frequently just has an itchy hawk or something.
Yeah, and as soon as he realized he could, yes, it's all right. A little bit of wind startling him up a little bit. As soon as he realized he could get like itched that way, and then it led to, seems a little bit nervous or something. Yes. That he could say what he wanted to get petted, he got much more excited about it. But it took a lot to get him comfortable with. That's me walking up and him just actually, let's wait for him to relax a little bit. Him actually being okay with me being back here without getting all tense. And another thing that I also did start selectively reinforcing for was just anytime he had dropped his head. He's kind of chewing now, but yes. Would you like more pets? He says, I want more foods. Give me some more of the good stuff. You relax? We clean up. He's got a little bit of butt stiff. Shh. He's like, nah, that just feels good. He often does like walk right up to where he wants to get a scratch too, like McCall was saying. Yeah, yes. There I was marking for just that heavy breath. Here, go guy. And then another thing too that we work on sometimes is walking and doing it. But I think that's pretty good for today. Thanks for being a good demonstrator, Canner. You did a great job. Oh, is that an itchy spot? Yeah. You want to take a bow for everybody? We can set you up. You got a little something here I should probably clean up for you real quick. Can't tell what's going on. Some eggs or something gross. Looks like maybe some fly eggs.
Yes.
Will you keep clicking treating him?
Can you relax?
No. Scab.
Thinking about it? Yes.
It's just a scab, actually. It's a funky little scabby. Probably feels good to get it all itched up.
Yes. I think he likes the, yes, the model of doesn't have to have the pets interrupted to get treated.
Yeah, he's a big fan of that.
Yes.
Let's just get all the scab out real quick. It's just more of it hiding out lower and
yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's a good bow. All right, he says, I'm done. We got to bow. So I'm just going to, you want to head that way and we're going to bow for everybody and then call it a day. Went a little long. Whoa. It's like,
I know who has the treat bucket.
yeah, I'll take that. It's like, I know who's been treating me recently. Come this way. Oh, you got an itch there? Yes. There we go. All right, well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Whoa. It's like, don't forget to scratch down here, Mackenzie.
Ooh, I think that's the spot.
Take a bow. Yes. Good demonstration. A big thank you to James for running the cams. Thanks to McCall for coming out. Thanks to Canner for being such a sweetheart. Yes. Thanks to all you for tuning in. Big thank you to the ranch hands for helping make it all go, and Suzanne for, making the whole ship go. See if you can see those wild horses up on the hillside, and those eagles are still hanging out. And a big thank you to Celia for helping us get the word out, and to all of you for tuning in. Be sure and check out the rebroadcast tomorrow. If you have any questions, leave them on you can go ahead and leave them on that forum that we have up. And we'll rebroadcast tomorrow at 1 p.m., I do believe. And yeah, thanks again. We'll see you next Sunday. Bye.